lot, so I need you guys to speak up for me. That's what I need you guys to do. So, thank you. In the back, that's what I need. I need amens and hallelujahs. Yes. We all know you guys in the back like to speak up a little bit. Wayne too. Every time you hear "come on now," yeah, someone's getting sanctified. All right, so where I was. For 2 weeks, if my dad hasn't explained yet, I was at a Christian camp that taught philosophy, science, history, and social matters, all from a Christian point of view, and it's called Summit. It is, you're right, these notes are too messy. Anyway, we learned the science behind the beginning of time and how evolution is false. We learned about Islam, atheism, and other religions. And we learned what the most logical choice was from a Christian point of view and from just a normal point of view. We went through history and found that the Bible isn't just accurate, but it is a more accurate source than other historical writings from people such as Plato and Socrates. Summit took the verse 1 Peter 3:15 to heart. For those like me who haven't memorized more than 7-ish verses, it says, "But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect." They taught us all this, but the most important part at the end was gentleness and respect. It doesn't matter what you're saying, nobody will listen if you don't say it the right way. We also took time away from the classrooms to have some fun. We went to Philly. We ate. Yes, we ate. We climbed those rocky steps, and we took a lot of selfies. Thank you, Kedrick, for that one. We also went to Sight and Sound. And for those of you who don't know, Sight and Sound is like the Christian Broadway. It's not budget or bootleg, it's actually really good. But yeah, so I think Sight and Sound was the turning point for me. Because when you see things, it's different from when you hear them. Because you can hear something, and because some people are visual learners, I'm more of a visual learner, or I like to do things, but when they went on the stage, not to spoil anything, but they just did such an amazing job. So we all sat down, I was in the left row, my friend was next to me, my roommate, he's from Indiana, so he's never seen anything. So he was sitting there, the stage opens up, and then the sides pull back, and he's like, looking around. He's never seen anything like this in his life. And I didn't think the play was going to be a big deal for me. I was like, oh, I've seen this before, nothing. But the significance to this one was, it was Jesus' play. So, there's one scene which was inspired by Mark 10. You know, when I'm preaching Mark 10, nobody preaches Mark anymore. It's Matthew and Luke. Anyway, so in this, a blind man comes to Jesus, and he begs him to heal him. And Jesus says, "What do you want me to do for you?" And he says, "Rabbi, I want to see." And he says, "Go, your faith has healed you." Amen. And from that point on, I kind of just lost it. I was like a child that broke down. I was like crying. Everyone was like staring at me, and I was But it was just really powerful to see that in person. You know, I encourage you guys to go. It was such an amazing experience. And I've heard that verse so many times, but like I said, just seeing it is just something completely different. And it was the thing that night that made me stop running from what I'm supposed to do. And to give some background onto what I was thinking going into Summit, I'm going to give you guys my mindset. Amen. I couldn't wait to go to college and drink and smoke and do what everyone else does, run away from their past or have fun. It hit me what I was running from and what real fun was when I was at Summit. Amen. I was running from God and from my parents. I didn't want to be a Christian because I wanted to do my own thing, things that God bless my parents wouldn't let me do. And that night at Sight and Sound, that show showed me this. I couldn't get behind a God that was all about not having fun, which brings me to my next point. I always thought fun was getting plastic with your friends or getting so high that the stop sign, you wait for it to turn green. I thought it was to get as many girls or die trying, and any guy of semi-good lookingness attempts to do this or wants to. But then I met 7 people who showed me what real fun is. These people made the biggest impact on me so far. So, to Sam, Amelia, Paris, Heather, Lang James, Ellie, and Ashlyn, thank you all for inspiring me. See, my roommate Sam, and Leg James, I met them within an hour of being at Summit. An hour. And we hit it off instantly. And the night, I met the rest of everyone, all the girls, playing foosball. Then throughout the week, we challenged each other at pool, foosball, we played whatever. And I'm really bad, but we played. That's the important thing. So, when we were playing, it kind of just showed me that there's more to life than just those things. And I know it sounds really stupid, but everyone's heard the joke. All we do is eat. Because we're Christians, we can't drink, we can't smoke, we eat. So in my head, I was just like, wow, there really is more to do than just eat all day. And it sounds weird coming from a teenager, because what else do we do? We eat everything in your house. Like, that's our job. But hanging out with these people, they just showed me that there's so much more to life than just eating and doing all the other things. So, and the ironic part, my favorite part, was every time we sat and we ate with each other, we had like munchies, we had bunch of snacks, we would just talk all day. And that was so fun. Like, imagine sitting with somebody who you could just talk with for hours about anything. And it just felt like you guys knew each other forever. That's how it was with me and these 7 people. It was crazy. I knew them for 2 days. And we were talking like we knew each other for our whole lives. So I'd also like to thank my small group leader, Kedrick, and my guys in my small group, Jordan, David, Price, Warren. You guys were big supports while I was over there, and I can't thank you guys enough. It was amazing. Amen. So what I'm going to be kind of talking about today is doubt, which I've had lots of doubt, as you can see. But I didn't write this. This was actually written by Brett Kunkel. This is just one of the many things I learned over there. So I'm kind of going to be dumbing it down because I don't have a PhD or a doctorate or passing grade in science. But he starts off by explaining what doubt is. And I just put down uncertainty. Here we go. I just put down uncertainty because I'm not a great note taker. But it's good to think about what something is before you talk about it. So it's true, when we think of doubt, what's the first thing we think of? Oh, I don't believe that. Or, this isn't real. Or, I don't believe you for some reason. So, he goes through these 3 different kinds of doubts, which is what I'm going to be talking about. So the first one is intellectual doubt. This one's caused by unanswered questions. So, for those of you who have never had a question answered, you know how annoying this can be. So like, let's say something in the Bible is confusing. So this happens to a lot of young people. Something in the Bible is confusing, you ask, and they say, just have more faith. Okay. I guess we'll take that answer. But how can you have more faith in something that doesn't make any sense to you? What if the whole thing doesn't make sense? You just need somebody to explain it to you. So the best way to combat this is to just, if you have a question, find somebody who can answer it. And if nobody wants to, figure it out yourself. Like, I know it sounds kind of mean or whatever, but it's true. If you have a question, you gotta look for the answer. And if you can't find it, then you gotta look into what you believe in. But the thing I found here was every question I had, they could answer, and it was amazing. I never had that before. Well, I got him, but it's kind of weird asking your dad every 5 minutes. What does this mean? What does that mean? Can you help me with this? So, you know, if he's busy, you guys can talk to me if you have any kinds of doubt. I don't know everything, But I did learn something in 2 weeks, so just call me. Alrighty. The second kind of doubt is emotional/psychological doubt. That's caused by pain that happens to a lot of people, or wrongdoings caused by a family member or someone else. You have anxiety that kind of hurts when you're trying to believe in something, but there's just something in your head that doesn't work, or there's just something holding you back. I had a kid over there who he raised his hand to talk about why he had emotional doubt, and he said that when he was growing up, his father left him when he was 2. And he said, how can I submit to a father when my father left me? So he really just took it, and I mean, he's a Christian now, but from what he was saying, it just touched a lot of people in that room. He was really brave to say that, honestly. But yeah, so how to deal with emotional doubt? Well, you need to talk to somebody about it. That's the biggest part. If something's holding you back, you need to express what is holding you back. And if you don't even know, just talk about your feelings, because whenever you talk to somebody about anything, it just makes you feel better. You know, when you hold something in and it's like, it feels like you're just being eaten up inside and you don't know who to tell or who to talk to, just find anybody who will listen, anybody who can confide in, just talk to them. They'll hear you out, and then you'll feel better on the inside.
Amen.
All right, this last one, I put 7 arrows. I underlined it. I crisscrossed around it. This one's moral doubt. This is caused by yourself. This is when you have weak faith. You're influenced a lot by your friends, and when you want to do what you want to do, you want to sin, and it's caused by your personal sin. So let's just say, like he talks all the time about, there's something that's holding you back. There's a certain sin. That's what it is. It's not that you don't want to come to Christ or that you can't. You just want to hold on to something a little bit longer. You just want to hold on to it more, and you want to hold to it tighter than you want to hold on to God. So that was probably my biggest one, because I just want to have fun. I'm 15. I ain't done nothing. I can't drive. I'm not going anywhere. So I just want to do my own thing for now. But to deal with moral doubt, you have to first deal with yourself. You have to realize, listen, this isn't going to take me anywhere. It's not going to do anything for me in the future. Nothing's going to happen from getting rid of it, depending on what it is. But, like for me, or for every dude ever, lust is a big one. You just got to realize that that's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. You're going to get married one day. You think it's going to stop. It's not going to stop. They had a guy come up and talk about, he was married to his wife for 20 years, and he still struggled with lust. Like every time he'd go through the mall, people be dressing. I'm not even going to go any further. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, so it don't stop. You just have to deal with yourself and realize that these things aren't going to go away without God and without you first looking at yourself and saying, I don't need this, and I need something more important than this. And I breezed through that. So thank you all. Have a good lunch. And I'll give it to my father.